Hey guys, it's Farmer Brad, and I'm out here in the high tunnel that is powered off grid. So I have a 100 watt solar panel that generates and stores power into a 55 amp hour 12 volt battery. And so I won't be able to leave these on for too long, but I just wanted to show you guys what it's able to do. And let's see, I almost have a third row, you might be able to see it, I almost have a third row ready to put down the irrigation strips, or the drip tape, and the landscape fabric. Let's see, there's lane 1 and lane 2, and I have carrots in this lane that are starting to sprout. The lettuce is doing relatively okay. Let me shine a light on it so that you guys can see it a little bit better. So yeah, I got some lettuce going, and then here is some more lettuce that I planted a little bit later, and then a few little carrot sprouts coming up. Now one thing that I'm noticing is that this gets pretty damp because this goes down and then it goes up, and so water tends to collect here. So next year I'll probably need to level this out a little bit better. But then we go down here, and this is where I have the basil plant, and then here are the 48 jalapeno or habanero peppers that I have planted. And if anyone has any suggestion on recommendations about watering, currently I have it set up to water 30 minutes at 6 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. So my thinking is the 10 p.m. watering will help saturate the water. Actually, it sounds like the water just turned on for the 10 o'clock watering. Yep, right on time. So I'm just going with that, and then hopefully the plants will tell me whether or not they need more or less water. But yeah, so I'm really happy with the lighting. I have one more strand of lights that I'll eventually put in place. So this was the first strand, then this is the second strand, and third strand I put up the other night, and then there will be a fourth strand there. But as far as being able to do some gardening and stuff in the high tunnel at night, these 2 watt light bulbs do a pretty good job. And then let me take you over. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but over in this corner, yeah, you won't really be able to see it. I end up having 300 watt inverter come off the battery, and then that powers this outlet that goes to an Insight, Wemo Insight switch, and that is what is able to turn the lights on and off remotely. So no lights, lights. No lights, lights. And so then the Wi-Fi signal was a little faint for the Wemo Insight switch, so I ended up adding a Wi-Fi extender out here. Now I found out that I had to name it the same network ID that my outdoor access point is in order for the information for the Wemo to get back to our home network. So it was a little trial and error, a little bit of figuring things out, doing some research online, but I was able to get it. So then in the Wemo app, I turned it on to be remote, to turn on the remote capabilities. So now I can turn the lights on anywhere I have internet connection on my phone. So eventually I plan on putting a camera in here to be able to capture some time lapse over the months, so I could take little segments and stuff and then get an idea of the growth of the plants as well. So if anyone has any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will respond to them accordingly. So yeah, I'm not sure what else I'm gonna plant. The other thing I need to consider is adding shade cloth. I think I do have some shade cloth, but it looks like, unless it's just the habanero plants trying to establish their roots, they look like they're being affected by the heat, because like today it got up to 108 in here. A few weeks ago it got up to 117. So, you know, I feel like this first year is just more or less going to be a lot of trial and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. It's also going to be a while before I get the fertigation system in place, but hopefully I can gradually do a little here, a little there, in order to eventually get to my goal of pumping pond water into this drip irrigation system. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing the lights in the high tunnel, and I guess I should call it the off-grid high tunnel. And the cool thing with the Insight Wemo switch is I'm able to tell it how much how like my rate that I would be paying for a regular electric bill, like a kilowatt hour. I can enter that amount, and then I can get an idea of over time how much I am saving, and then I'll be able to, with those calculations, figure out how long before the solar system has paid for itself in the amount that I've saved. But I mean, really right now, since I only have one battery and one solar panel, I only really feel comfortable having the system on, or the lights on, for 15-20 minutes at a time. But throughout the day I have a sensor push gateway that is powered 24/7, and what that allows me to do is get a reading from, let me switch, to be able to get a reading from this sensor that I have staked in the middle. So I try to have it at an angle so that it's not touching the metal and affecting the reading. But yeah, so I just have this in the center of the high tunnel, and that gives me my inside temperature. And then I have another one placed outdoors or outside, and so then I can compare the temperature and get an idea of what's happening. Hey there, Jonathan. Let's see. The other thing I'd like to do is see whether or not I can add a Wemo maker to the Bluetooth water timer. If I can open that up and get access to some wires, then I can make that timer be controlled via the internet. And if I can do that, then I can have watering based off of temperature. So eventually I think Sensor Push is going to have an if this then that applet available. And then once that happens, then I'll be able to set a rule of if the temperature for Sensor Push gets to a certain level, then water an extra time later on to be able to help restore the moisture in the water. So I think I'm going to end this, double check on the plants, and then finish up feeding the meat birds that I have in the chicken tractor. But yeah, I definitely check out my website, farmerbrad.com, and these Amazon outdoor lights will be on there, and I definitely recommend them. I think they're like 29 bucks for a 24-foot strand. And each bulb only uses 2 watts, which I think is pretty incredible. And as you can tell, it lights up this place good enough that I can get some gardening done at my convenience. Thanks for watching, and keep a lookout for more videos that I'll be posting up on YouTube. Thanks.